Kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow, kick the flow.
Charity. A point well made there. I've asked the Mayor of London, I've asked the head of London Council, so I'm asking you now. In terms of homeless people, in terms of people who are sleeping rough on the streets, what do you see? As you go about your business, what do you see? That weather, as you just heard, there is about to fall. What do you see? At the first lockdown, Mrs. Lester has announced today before I left where she wants a bike. We're all going to get bikes so we can go riding in the forest. Like when I was a kid living on Kingsman Estate, you know, this kind of go for a ride in the forest. What for? What am I going for a ride in the forest? Why? Because it's good for the children. They can be as one with nature. Like, oh, for goodness, you take them. Then they call me miserable. Everybody knows I'm not miserable. Thanks, Steve. Always great to touch base with you, man. Appreciate your call very, very much and giving us a sense as to what's happening. We like it. On Friday, we encourage international calls, actually, you know, wherever you're listening from. Tell us what's going around you. It's always interesting to hear stories. I like telling them. I like hearing them. The agenda today, well, we started off by talking about airport quarantine and whether or not our government has been fast, slow, whether we need to cut them some slack in terms of the way they are dealing with the pandemic. We announced to you the weather was going to fall, but the energy prices would rise, and what that meant to you. Steve was talking about ways of saving money. In my house, they think turning the heating down but leaving it on all the time is the best way. Hell no. Well, take that fuse to work with me, and that'll upset everybody almost as much as turning off the router. Jeez, I made a mistake yesterday, man. So I was trying to watch Tottenham. I was trying to sort stuff out, and I pressed the buttons. It's like the world goes mad. Who's turned off the Wi-Fi? That's a proper way of disturbing people's spirit in their house. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Turn off the Wi-Fi and say, let's talk. Let's sit together as a family and let us talk. Some of your messages coming. I've got the message sheet all mixed up. Please forgive me for that whilst I sort it out. Let me blag by reminding you that Monday is a big day. We'll be talking about people who are on benefits and how challenging it is for them to find anywhere to live, because apparently landlords do not want them. And before anybody says, Eddie, it's against the rules, don't you know? There are lots of things against the rules. There are lots and lots of things against the rules, but people are still doing them. And we're going to look at supplements, right? Really important to look at that. I don't know if they're any good, I don't know if they're worth it, but certainly I found myself at 30 feeling as though I've got to take a little zinc, take a little vitamin D, a little vitamin C, little multivitamins. I put them. Is it just wasting money though? Or is it worth it? Or should I be eating certain foods? The real thrust of this is not the supplements, but obviously, that it's not a cure. That in these times of COVID, extra pressure being placed upon the NHS and all of that, it could have been put back to another time. Or do you think absolutely appalling? Here we are in a situation where, I don't know, where, you know, it feels as though London, all of London, is talking about this. It feels like we're in a moment where there is an understanding, an appreciation, a conversation that's taking place, and this is exactly the moment to be, you know, publicly showing a kind of solidarity. I don't know, whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. 0800 731 2000. Text 08133, starting your message with the word London. Kira is a caller, good first-time caller. Hello, Kira.
Hello.
Thanks for
Hello,
getting involved. I'm all right. What part of London? It just says Kira in London. What part of London are you in?
Clapham.
Right. Oh, right. Goodness gracious me. So you are in that area. Tell me a little bit about Clapham, because when I drive through past, it seems like there are thousands of people in the park. It seems like not the heap that it was when I was a kid. It feels like quite an affluent area now.
So definitely is an affluent area. I was listening to you when I was on my Uber. I kind of just wanted to say, in terms of the discussion you were having around whether consent has to be asked for every time, I think a lot of the time the male population perhaps perceives consent as a verbal cue, and sometimes it's not as simple as that. It can be the fact that, actually someone's not actively participating. It can be the fact that is someone just being a passive participant in a sexual encounter. And I think men need to be considerate of the fact of, like the other caller said, saying to someone like, is this okay? Even saying to someone like, is that nice? If they don't respond, that's not consent. The fact of not saying anything is not consent. It doesn't have to be a no for it to not be consent. And I think to put it as black and white as yes or no is a naive approach to have. And I accept that. And if you don't mind, for that little bit and for this conversation, this part of it, I'm speaking to a particular type of man, or however you want to do it, who say, when I'm in that zone, I feel as though in that environment, just being in that environment gives an indication that you are at least interested. Kira. I think you just need to be mindful of the fact that you have a wide audience, and I think, yes, that might be a type of man, but that's the education piece that we need to rework.
Yeah, but no, hold on, Kim. You're a first-time caller. Please believe, it is incredibly, I find it really frustrating that the moment I stray into an area of misconception, misunderstanding, brutality, call it whatever you will, which I think perhaps leads to the nth degree and us being in the situation we are, I can't have the conversation. I need to have the conversation. It doesn't matter if you criticise me or it. It is important to me that we have the conversation. If we don't, because we're in a moment. Do you agree with me? We're in a moment.
We're in a what, sorry?
Sorry, this is the way I speak. Do you agree that we're at a point where something has happened which has acted as a kind of catalyst for our conversation? Sure. Do you accept that? Do you accept that if I sit on the radio in the way I imagine lots of people are right now, saying what should be, and women should be able to go where they want, wear what they want, because that's not going to help anything. We have to get into what is happening, and that's ugly.
No, the real talk is that it needs to be a re-education piece, and you're completely right. The only way to do that is through discussion and different perspectives and points of view being voiced in an open and honest way, but also in the same breath to call people and correct people on behaviours that are archaic.
Which is what you've done.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a piece of advice? Do you want to? You may not want to, and I absolutely understand that. But as soon as we've got you up here and you are pulling up archaic thoughts and behaviours,
and it's not an attack on you.
I honestly, I'm too old and ugly and thick-skinned now. If anything I say means that people go away and have a spirited conversation from which they come out with a common good, then I've done my job.
My insight would be, boys, any boys listening, think about how you're speaking about women. Are you sexualizing them? Are you objectifying them? If you disagree with a way to hear someone speaking, if one of your friends starts saying something provocative or inappropriate about a girl, call them on it, address it, ask them why you're saying that, and address his behaviours, nip them in the bud, and start to rethink the way that you see allies to your female friends, to your family members. Think of these girls like they are your sister, they are your mum, they're someone's daughter, and think about it like that, and I think that's the concept that we need to rework.
Fantastic. Kira, I hope we can talk again. Look after yourself. Please stay safe. That's Kira, who's never phoned the show before, prompted by my conversation. Too cool. So my work here is done. It doesn't matter. There are people listening who perhaps have a different point of view and know that it wouldn't be particularly well received. So we're listening. There are a number of people I know, because they've talked to me, who have learned things, who will correct their behaviour, who never thought, a guy said to me, I'm just walking home. It's late at night, I'm just walking home, and I didn't think that walking behind this woman in the way that I was, or whatever, posed a threat. So, you know, we've done a bit there. Maybe it's about talking about access to mobile phones and what's on those mobile phones. Maybe it's talking to our boys about whether you receive a picture of somebody, whether, you know, the first thing you should do is to show it to somebody or share it, you know, and the feeling of the person.
Wales is the first home nation to announce the lifting of the stay-at-home rule. From tomorrow, the message is stay local. And England's cricketers have got off to a victorious start in the T20 series against India. They easily chased down a target of 125 runs to win by 8 wickets. LBC weather: spells of rain moving east tonight with snow on northern hills, windy across the southwest, a low of -1.
This is LBC.
Do you have high blood pressure? Are you willing to measure your blood pressure at home every day? If so, the Personal COVID BP research team at Queen Mary University of London will give you an electronic diary to record your blood pressure, medication, and any COVID-19 symptoms. If your blood pressure is okay, we'll simply ask you to give us your readings over 3 months. If it's raised, we'll send you a licensed medication called amlodipine, which will help to gradually manage your blood pressure. If you're interested, contact 0207 882 8000 or visit trialsconnect.org. That's trialsconnect, all one word, .org.
Just the two of you at home could become just the two of you, strolling hand in hand on one of the Caribbean's finest beaches. Just the two of you, spoiling yourselves with 5-star gourmet dining. Just the two of you, swimming up to your private suite. Just the two of you. And Sandals, voted the world's leading all-inclusive resort at the World Travel Awards. Book with confidence at sandals.co.uk. Adult protected.
Are you an Uber driver? Or did you drive for Uber any time between 2015 and 2021? On the 19th of February, the UK's Supreme Court ruled in a landmark case that Uber drivers are workers. We believe this means Uber drivers are now able to claim compensation for backdated national minimum wage and holiday pay. To find out more, visit driverclaimlawyers.com/radio or text Uber to 600-66.
Mums do so much for us, so it's time to say a special thank you. Treat Mum this Mother's Day with a dozen Fairtrade mixed roses for just £10 from your local co-op. Show Mum you care this Mother's Day. Co-op, it's what we do. Subject to availability, participating stores only, ends 14th of March.
If you're a freeholder or a right-to-manage company director, you'll know your sector never stops. So it's good to know that when your block is looked after by ABC Estates Block Management Team, our family business will never stop looking after you. Service charge collections, we never stop. Insurance, we never stop. Proactive and reactive maintenance, we never stop. Full transparency, we never stop. Non-stop block management services from Aldermartin, Baines and Cuthbert. Call 0800 888 6688 or visit abcestates.co.uk. Fillet of fish from a dish, share box and evening frocks, Big Mac down a cul-de-sac and even under a drying rack, medium fries in rainy skies, or maybe cheeseburgers in the bath. How daft. Wraps through cat flaps, nugs on rugs, or perhaps a McChicken sandwich to the river. Because yes, we deliver. Download Uber Eats or Just Eat and enjoy McDonald's at home. At participating McDonald's and locations only. See mcdonalds.co.uk/McDelivery to see if there's one near you. See Uber Eats or Just Eat app for full details. Delivery fee applies.
Good with people?
Hiya, are you ready to order?
We can help you take the skills you already have to a new role.
Hiya, Millie. I've brought you a cardie. How are you feeling today?
I'm alright, thanks, pet. For helpful advice on the latest vacancies, visit gov.uk/jobhelp. A good place to start.
This is LBC with Andrew Pearce. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet.
Did there make a difference here?
You truly deserve an award for being inspirational during very challenging times.
From March 23rd, each day you'll hear their stories and why their borough council chose them.
By supporting struggling families in our borough.
And made a real difference in the local community.
Make a Difference Heroes, marking 1 year on from the first lockdown from March 23rd.
BBC Radio London.
That's right, you're listening to The Scene with
Rafaela Coleman and Kim Davis. And it is not about us, it is about our first guest. He's bringing a real mix of culture to the show. A Danish and Tanzanian artist. Tanzania